Hi everybody, it's Diane here, kind of working in progress. I couldn't turn the computer on, so this is that new small glue book. So I started doing a page without you guys. So I'm trying to find flowers or something that'll fit in this vase. That's okay, I cut this out because it's so perfect. But it's so perfect, and I knew this was coming. You don't see it, it's confusing. So maybe it can go on this page or something. So I found these orange-ish carnations. It's not bad. That doesn't show up on that. That's an elevator door from the Chrysler building in New York City. Isn't that cool? I've never been there to New York City, or the Chrysler building because I can't say it. And I'm not sure if this will do it. Are those like in the vase? I don't know. Us old ladies can't tell with our vision anymore. Okay. Pretty good. Okay. There were more of those, but they're not going to show up in this one. Need something on the bottom, Diane. I think you're right. What if it was even just a dark strip of color, plain color? Or it could have a little pattern in it. And I don't think that's going to look right. Besides, it's the back cover, it's thick. He's not deep, he's thick. I'll give 1,000,000 brownie points to anybody that knows what that's from. It's a TV show. It's a Dick Van Dyke show. That might work. It was narrower. Okay, I think it's going to have to go under the vases and not under this stained glass window thing. My first inclination was to cover up this printing because, to be honest, I don't like it. It's sort of confusing, busy because of the, you know, the Deco-ness, but, you know, it says what it is there, so I left it. I wouldn't want to start an incident. That's the wrong way, Diane, with the Chrysler people. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. That's fine. I think that's done. If you really wanted, you could add color up here, but I like that these letters are just on white. Let me try one flower there. All right, grab the glasses. I am gonna have to buy one of those chains. She's chained to glasses. Now I can bang my scissors and my glasses on this counter. Isn't that exciting? Come on. Well, Just one looks a little stupid. You don't see it. No. I will say, yeah, I'll do that just to use this. Diane, when are you going to learn your lesson? Usually when I say that's good, that's fine, and then I try to add something, it doesn't work because to my eye, it's throwing it off because it was done and you're trying to add stuff. Right, Diane? Yeah, I think you're right. Okay. Okay, sorry for the interruption. While we're here, I had a request, and you'll have to forgive me because I make videos ahead of time. So 1, 2, 3, this will be like 3.5 weeks ago. A viewer asked to see my scrap box that I refer to often. Here it is. It's an old library magazine file box. One time I looked into a library book sale. They were selling all their old magazine files for 5 cents a piece. So I should have got more than I did. I think I got about 5 of them. I have 6. I gave a couple to a friend. There's a couple more in my basement. It's starting to split. I painted it. As you can see, it was just this kind of tan and wove look here. I think I've gotten my 5 cents out of it. But anyway, this is it. So it's vertical. And aside from these couple paper packs here, it's plain, it's mostly all scrapbook paper. So I have plain stuff in the front and then just cut-offs. And then towards the back is more like focal image type things, animals, swimsuits, some map stuff, paper doilies, then just some cardstock cut-offs. Okay, my Buster file, and I have an envelope of security envelope things that I haven't used in a long time. Okay, it's right there. It's a pretty good system. It's handy. I can just reach and grab it. Yeah, occasionally I do have to refile. I mean, you can't, especially when you're making a video, you know, always put it in the exact same spot. And yes, sometimes when you put stuff in here, it gets hung up. It does. It's kind of aggravating. But if you can find the perfect system, let me know, because I have my flowers box here. Now that lays flat, and that's kind of better because stuff doesn't get snagged so much. But who has room to have flat boxes all over the place, and then you can't just reach them? So that doesn't work so well. And then I have 2 more. They're just I can't grab it right now. It's like a USPS postal box, priority mail kind of a box. So 12 by 12 papers fit in there, and I just cut it a little bit like that magazine file. And that works pretty well too, except for the snagging up stuff. You know, they make, if you have money to burn, they make scrapbook paper file boxes and trays and stuff. You can buy all kinds of storage. You know, have at it. I don't have that kind of money. I'm, you know, I don't have company back here in my craft space, so you know, a cardboard box is fine with me. So that's that. And well, what it is it's stuff that's kind of narrow, kind of smaller than the 12 by 12 stuff, but yet it's way too big to fit into the scrap stuff. So that's kind of the intermediate scrap stuff. Then you lost us. Yeah, but you can have different boxes, trays, whatever, and not everyone is organized. I'm pretty good, I will admit it. But if you know, keep your stuff relatively organized. It is easier when you want a certain thing. Usually you can find it. And a word to the wise, if you rearrange all your anything, your craft supplies, your sewing supplies, your office, and you really move a lot of stuff, write it down. I know that sounds stupid, but there are just a couple times where I did rearrange. At one point I got a different cabinet back here, and so at this point I still don't know where my pop dots are at this point in my life. So if there's something you kind of use and you actually move it from where you're used to it being, jot it down where you put it. Here's where I got this elevator door. Oh, that's in the Chicago Board of Trade building, 1930. I've never been in there. I have nothing to trade. Except old magazine file boxes. Isn't it weird? Just every once in a while the things you run into like that. I wish I would have run into a library when computers were taking over and could have had all their card catalog cards. That would have been fun. I bought a few once, years ago. I think it was on Etsy. But yeah, can you imagine all those great collage base fodder things that went in the garbage? Let's not think about that. Let's worry about the right side of this page here. That's cool. I've got an old muffin tin hanging on one of my kitchen walls. Oh, and actually it's really cool. An old campfire thing. It's like a metal grid that opens to put bread in it so you can make toast over a fire. I've got that up on my wall too. That was my grandparents. Well, actually, it was the same that was my grandparents, and the muffin tin was that grandmother's, so it was hers. It's a 12 cup one, which I used a lot, but it started getting a little rusty, so I retired it. I thought that might kind of go with the Deco angles there. Ooh, look at all the penguins. Where were they when I had my penguin glue book page? Well, I don't really want food. Is the rest of this food? Yeah, okay. What do we have here? Oh, I gotta leave pretty soon, naturally. Oh, just for the record, under this counter I have a couple plastic milk crates, and 12 by 12 paper fits in there. I have pads in one of those, which works pretty well, except it's not full, so they're kind of bowing, which doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just a piece of paper. It doesn't look too attractive, I will admit. But it works. And the best part of that is you get to bend down and under the counter. But I'm grateful for the space I have. My mom did all kinds of crafts, sewing stuff, and all she had was like a corner of the dining room. So I'm very grateful for this space. Okay, now what are you gonna do? Why don't we finish off this magazine, and then I have to pause for a bit. What does that look like under there? That's kind of interesting. Okay. And Diane's going with color. Surprise, surprise. You know, if I hit a phrase or something up there, or something like this, just up there. Should we save the World Wildlife Fund panda? They've had that as their logo for a long time, which I guess, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Your bad day has met its match. I don't want to hear that. That's terrible. Bye. It's cool. More food. That paper just blew off my counter. It blew away. Okay, guys, I don't see any great phrase that pays. Okay, hang on. I'm going to pause. I'm going to shred up that paper with the negative sentiment on it. I might finish this off, and I'll see how much time I've been taking here. Okay, hang on. Okay, folks, this is all glued in. I found a neat phrase, but since it was so narrow, I put it here, so I needed stuff to put up here. Damn, we're using a pointer. It's not a pointer, it's a paintbrush. Because your nitpicky hostess here does not like, this is slightly crooked. These don't meet up. These don't meet up. You know, who cares? But I think that brush is too big. Let's use the old reliable pointing one. But anyway, I'm going to run that color in the seam and see if I can't ruin everything. But I just don't like that mishmash of paper edges. How about that? And I think this color should look fine on the other side. Well, it's better. It is better. Okay. Okay. I don't like this black corner right there. Okay. Alright, boys and girls, and moms and dads, and kids and grandmas, and dogs and cats, and everybody else. I think that's it. Yeah, you know, spattering over here is a good idea, except I don't have water. Is this going to spatter? Yeah, it will. Okay. Okay. Okay, now she's happy. Okay, 2 more pages and everyone got to see my cool storage box. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you have a good day.